Captain's Log number 788. Today, I decided I was going to investigate that spooky noise that keeps coming from my isolation chamber. But then I got scared. I decided to watch a movie instead. So, that's what I did today.
Lost in space, an alien race, trapped in orbit with no escape, watching films from Earth's display, passing time from day to day. Stuck in orbit, what can I do? A movie marathon will have to do. From drama to horror and comedy too, an alien cinema will break through.
So today I decided to watch Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's the new movie from Lucasfilms. And I wanted to see how it was. And so I will be completely honest right off the bat, okay? I am not an Indiana Jones fan. I've only seen The Lost Ark and The Crystal Skull. So I've only seen 2 Indiana Jones movies. That's what I'm going off of, okay? So this is a complete fresh take. I'm not invested as an Indiana Jones fan. So this is just me reviewing this movie as a movie, okay? And see how does it hold up as a movie. And I think probably the best part of the whole movie, and I think most people would agree, and because it was really good, was the first 20 minutes of the movie. Now, the first 20 minutes of the movie is basically a great ending to another movie. So you start off with a great climax with Indiana Jones fighting Nazis on a train, and it's just spectacular, and it's awesome, and it's action-packed, and it's exactly what you would expect from this kind of a movie. The rest of the movie is old Indiana Jones. You know, Harrison Ford is old now, and so of course Indiana Jones is also going to be old. So it's not quite as action-packed as the beginning of the movie, which takes place in the past with a younger Indiana Jones. But there are some surprisingly good action sequences scattered out throughout the film, despite Indiana Jones being super old. And so you have to suspend your disbelief for a few minutes at a time as you watch these older Indiana Jones do these incredible stunts without breaking a hip. Now, you can't watch this movie without recognizing the new addition to the cast of the Indiana Jones franchise, which is Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, Helena. Now, Helena, I don't like her at all. And she's written to be this character that is unlikable, really. Like, I can't see anybody seeing her and being like, oh, this person is great. I want to see a whole standalone movie with just Helena because she's so awesome and she's so cool. So she is basically the opposite of Indiana Jones. She gambles, she steals artifacts and sells them for profit. She's motivated by greed, right? Like, that's her whole motivation. She wants to collect these ancient artifacts and she wants to sell them for a lot of money. So she's basically the complete opposite of Indiana Jones. Also, I'm surprised that they wrote some parts into this movie that they did. For instance, Helena, another thing that she likes to do is objectify the opposite gender. And as far as I know, in today's day and age, objectifying the opposite gender is a negative type, usually reserved for villains and antagonists of a movie. That is because objectifying the opposite gender is kind of a big no-no in today's society. But her character is written in such a way, she's not exactly an antagonist. She is the sidekick to Indiana Jones. And so you got this character who is just completely unlikable and cringy. Because every time she looks at a man and she goes, I want a piece of that. You know, you're like, ooh, that's kind of cringy. And so I'm not exactly sure what they were going for with this character. And she is present throughout the entire movie. Helena, her character is just really terrible. Like, I don't like her. She's unlikable. And I was waiting throughout the entire movie for her to have some sort of redemption arc. And, like, how is she going to redeem herself? Because, obviously, she's supposed to be, like, the Indiana Jones replacement. But we can't have this girl who likes to steal treasure and sell it at auction for profit on the black market. This girl, she's not going to be a good replacement for Indiana Jones. So she has to redeem herself somehow in this movie. So I'm like, how is she going to redeem herself? And how she redeems herself is by punching Indiana Jones in the face. That is literally what happens. After she punches Indiana Jones in the face, somehow all of her character flaws throughout the entire movie are completely redeemed. And now she's a good guy. But that is how she redeems herself. And I guess the audience is supposed to just accept that, like, oh, she's a good guy now because she punches Indiana Jones in the face? So, as I said before, the beginning of this movie is a really good climax ending finale of another movie, right? Like, I want to see that movie. But the ending that we actually got for this movie was really a letdown. It did not have the same gravitas and excitement as the beginning of the movie. And obviously in this movie, there's a time travel element to it, okay? It's called the Dial of Destiny. We know they're going back in time. Everybody knows, it's not a spoiler, she goes back in time, whatever. The issue is that Helena does not understand the time travel, how time travel works, at least not in this movie. Of course, time travel works differently in each individual movie. And for this movie, Helena thought that she was in Back to the Future, because that's how she was thinking about it. When you go back in time, there's like a butterfly effect. And so the things you do in the past change the things that happen in the future. And that's what Helena thought was going to happen in this movie, right? And I mean, that's a very generic time travel plot, right? The whole butterfly effect. The issue is that's not what happens in this movie. The way time travel works in this movie is more along the lines of a fixed timeline. And that means that, like, it doesn't matter what you do in the past. What happened in the past already happened. And so what you do in the past, it doesn't matter. Because whatever you do in the past happened in the past already. And it's not going to affect the future because there's a fixed timeline. And the thing is, the audience will be able to recognize this because we see that, yes, Nazis went to the past. They took their technology to the past, and they already know this beforehand. Like, as you watch the movie, you'll start to get what I'm talking about. They notice, oh, wait a minute. They've already been in the past. The thing is, she is worried that Indiana Jones going into the past is going to change the future. And she's like, no, you can't go to the past or you're going to change the future. No! But we already know that Nazis flew a giant plane into the past and killed a bunch of Roman soldiers and crashed their airplane in ancient Rome. And we already know that happened. And the future did not change at all. And so that means that there's a fixed timeline. And Helena is too stupid to figure that out. That no matter what you do in the past, it's not going to change the future because it already happened. And that resulted in her punching Indiana Jones in the face. Okay, so that being said, is it a fun movie to watch? Maybe. If you're not paying attention too much and you don't mind that one of the main protagonists of this movie is just a terrible person overall, then yeah, you will probably enjoy this movie. Okay. Did I enjoy this movie? No. And the thing is, I've watched movies before where the protagonist is a terrible person, right? He doesn't make good decisions, and he does things for his own selfish purposes, right? And I enjoy those movies. The difference here is that it's not just about this main person, but also have Indiana Jones. Basically, Indiana Jones is a saint. He does everything for the right reason, right? And so then you've got two people, both are supposed to be the protagonists of the movie, right? And except for one is a terrible person and the other one is a saint. And you're watching them both in this movie, and so you've got this juxtaposition. And you're like, I hate this person. Why are we working with this person? This person is terrible. And it's really dragging the movie down because I love Indiana Jones and I hate Helena. Why is Helena here throughout this entire movie. She's a terrible person. Like, Indiana Jones can do this whole thing without her. She's really kind of dragging him down and causing more problems than are necessary. So because of that, I think I would give this movie like a 6 out of 10. Because, like, that character, if she was completely written out of the movie and it was just Indiana Jones on another adventure, then I think that it would be a much better movie. But really, Helena, her character is just unnecessary and just aggravating. So do I recommend this movie? No, I don't recommend this movie. I think it's one to skip. You don't have to watch it. This is advertised as like the last Indiana Jones movie. So really, do you have to watch the last one? Because they're not going to make another one. And so you're not going to miss anything. Also, like, there's no references to the Crystal Skull at all. So I guess you can skip that one as well. Yeah. So really, these movies, they're only tied together with Indiana Jones. So, like, do you have to watch them all? Like, this is just another adventure with Indiana Jones. And so, I don't think it's really worth watching. So, with that being said, I guess this is just Captain's Log out.